The boy must decide to grow. And on this stage, there are two critical questions a man has to ask himself. Number one is, who am I? The second one is this, who am I not? So below 27, there's a lot of learning that is happening, skill passing that is happening. A man is learning from his experience. A man is picking up skills that he didn't have. 36 to 60 is one of the longest, and that's why we say it's an influential stage. It's a stage of maturity. Men have a good return on their labor. Welcome to this podcast, Building Great Men. Pastor Andrew is my name. I'm always honored to spend time with you. It's honestly a privilege. The transformation stories that we are hearing, they're so amazing to see what men are going through and the help you've been able to get through these podcasts. And I pray that you will like this podcast, you'll share it with other men. We believe at Encounter, when you disciple a man, when you invest in a man and build him, that man is a blessing to the children, but also to the wife or to the society around. Great churches are built on strong men. We want more strong men. All over the world where you go, you'll hear this statement. We need more great men. And so today I want to share with you stages that men go through, because there is a roadmap to manhood. There are stages that a man has to go through. Remember our definition that we reject passivity, we accept responsibility, we lead courageously, but also we invest eternally. That's our definition of manhood. But today I want to just pivot. This season we're looking at lives. How do we do life as men? The pains that men go through. And one of the pains I have seen is how we handle transitions. And the word transition speaks about the different stages that the man goes through. Why are these very important? I've done this with the class of men. We teach Great Men at Encounter, a 6 months course. And every time I teach this course, men are blown away. Men go back and evaluate their lives. So I want you to evaluate your life as we go through these different stages that men go through. So we are going to cluster them according to ages. So the first stage, we call it the budding stage. The budding stage is a stage from 0 to 20. It's a budding stage, and the word is budding. You're coming out. And this is a stage which defines who a man is. What is your identity? You're growing from being a boy into manhood. You're defining who your identity is. You're finding out what are the things you like as a man. The man in this stage must leave the wings of his father and mother. The boy must decide to grow. This is the stage, the budding stage, when you decide to grow. Especially when you hit adolescence, a lot of things are happening in your life, a lot of body changes. Then you hit 18, 19, you must decide to grow. And on this stage, there are two critical questions a man has to ask himself. Number one is, who am I? Who am I? That's an identity question. Who am I? The second one is this, who am I not? Who am I? Who am I not? Those are important questions to ask in the budding stage. Once you answer them, the opportunities around this is this, that you have time. The opportunity around the budding stage is you have time. The danger is we squander time. We get trapped into the adolescence and just squander that time. That's the first stage, the budding stage, below 20. The next stage, we call it the learning and the growing stage. The learning and the growing stage is between 20 to 27, around 27 there. So below 27, there's a lot of learning that is happening. There's a lot of skill passing that is happening. A man is learning from his experience. A man is picking up skills that he didn't have. The man is exploring. We call it the exploring stage. You are in your 22, 23. If you are in tertiary institution, you're at university, you're learning a certain skill. But also this is the season where men make a lot of mistakes. And it's allowed. This is a season for you to try out things. Do you want to be hands-on? Do you want to be a mechanic? Do you want to be like Jeff that is behind these cameras? Do you want to be like me as a pastor? This is the stage you're exploring a lot of things. You're making mistakes. The number one need in this stage is not to make money. It is to learn as much as possible. It is to redefine what you love and what you don't love. This is the stage that is very, very critical. Now, the opportunity is this in this stage. You can try out things, fail, try again. You can try out things. You can fail and try again. And that's okay. And people will always have a lot of latitude for you to learn things. You can look for mentors. You can say, okay, like for me, I did computer science. So I did computer science math at university. But that's not what I practiced. I practiced computer science and math for less than 2 years. After that, I realized that my passion and my calling was into pastoral work. So I'm a pastor. So I decided, oh, I'm so passionate about leadership. So I decided discovering certain things I'm passionate about: leadership, helping people. I defined who my vision is. I'm here to empower people, to unleash potential. So this is the time you have opportunity to let go of that degree I had in computer science, math, and pursue the things that are on my heart. It is in this stage of learning and developing. The dangers that you need to watch out. The dangers are this. There's what we call extended adolescence. When boys refuse to grow. When boys want to stay boys. When boys want to stay in their father's house or their mom's house. These days, because of absence of fathers, many boys want to stay home. They want to marry from home. The boy is 27, still at home. He wants to enjoy the benefits of home. He doesn't want to leave. He wants extended adolescence. Means you're doing the adolescence things in the years you shouldn't be doing them. Video games, excessive movies, and just chilling and relaxing. But the other danger we have between 20 to 27 is too much energy, which should be an opportunity, but then we have sexual energy. During that age, that's when your sex drive is at the roof. It becomes a danger because lust kicks in. Pornography kicks in. Masturbation kicks in. And if a boy who has now become a man, if he doesn't master this energy will master him. This is when kids start having children out of wedlock. This is when men have children out of wedlock. This is when HIV is rampant. This is when bad choices are made because of that energy. So you need to be able to notice in this season I'm in, this learning and growing stage, 20 to 27. Am I mastering my energy, especially my sexual energy, or are they mastering me? Am I staying in extended adolescence? And this is the stage where you need to be able to navigate it very well. The opportunities are this. Young men now can learn and grow their skills. What I did, I started skilling myself in the area of leadership. Went back to do my master's. You started skilling yourself in the area that you're passionate about. Learning and developing more skills is more important than the money. So this stage, what we're looking for is not specifically money. You will make money, but we're looking at learning. We're looking at learning. We're looking at developing. We're looking at doing greater things in this stage. So the first stage is the budding stage. The second stage is the learning and developing between 20 to 27. And in this stage of learning and development, there are certain questions I want you to ask yourself, and you should be able to answer them. One is this: what do I want in life? The second is, what will set me apart? What skills will set me apart? What opportunities will set me apart? The other question is, what values are going to run my life? What's my calling? What skills do I still need to develop in order to be successful? During the learning and growing stage, it's very important for you to answer those questions. Now, from the learning and development, we go to another stage called the stability stage. The stability stage is a stage between 28 to 35. 35. The 28 to 35, the word is stability. The man is growing in his career. Is now from junior officer to officer. If you're in the corporate space, you're an officer. You're a senior officer. You're a supervisory role. This is a stage where you're a supervisor. Some of you are now middle level managers, your manager. This is a stage where your skills, you've honed your skill, you're developing your skills even much better. This is a time between 28 to 35. People can call you an expert if you're in the accounting area, you've done your CPA, you've done your SCCA. This is the area that now they know you're adding value to them. You're a bit stable, and the greatest struggle between 28 to 35 is balancing family. You've gotten married, you have 2 little children, you have 1 little child, and so there's a bit of tension for a man in this area. And some of the dangers the man has is his world may become out of balance. Either he's spending a lot of time at work, or at the expense of his relationship with his wife and his little babies. The babies are crying day and night, you're having sleepless nights, your relationships might easily break up because you are becoming a workaholic. You want to make sure that people appreciate your work a lot and all that. So the danger here is the balance. How will you balance this? And so the opportunities here are also amazing. This is an opportunity for a man to invest in his new family, his wife. This is a time for a man to invest in his children, especially as they are toddlers. They are so amazing when they're the little ones. That stage is amazing. From this stage, we've looked at the budding, we looked at learning and development. Now it's in the stable stage. We get to the stage that I'm at, and many of the men that I pastor are at this stage. We call it the influential stage. It's the longest stage. The influential stage is the stage above 36. 36 to 60 is one of the longest. And that's why we say it's an influential stage. It's a stage of maturity. This is a stage when men have a good return on their labor. This is a stage when they are making some extra back. This is a stage where they are the directors, where they are the principals in their workplaces. This is a stage where they are the ones that are regional managers. This is a stage where men have great leadership potential, but also they're taking on leadership places, and they're leading their organizations, they're leading their departments. This is in the corporate space. In the space that is not in the corporate space, this is where your business is blooming. You know, you're having 1 outlet, 2 outlets. We'll hear a story after this from one of my men, our deacon Rogers. This is a stage where he has more than 8 outlets. So he's significant. He has influence at national level. You're called for prayer as a pastor. I'm called in certain meetings for at a national level. So you have influence at that level where your opinion matters. This is the stage where your opinion absolutely matter. Now, in this stage, the danger is midlife crisis. This is a stage we tend as men, because this is the stage I'm in, you want to go back and fulfill your unmet dreams. This is a stage you go back, you find that this is where men that have not developed the muscle to lead well, to develop character, they'll go back to looking for compassers. They'll go back to wearing jeans and damaged jeans and jeans that are falling. And the things we are doing that we should have done in the budding stage, in the learning stage, we are doing them now. And the challenge is we are covering up because of the unmet dreams. So, the opportunities are immense. What are the opportunities here? The opportunities is, this is a place where a man has power and productivity. You carry a lot of authority. You are more productive. You're leading teams. Your children are either teenagers. You have some teenagers in your house. This is a place where you have a lot of experience. Men can run governments. As we're recording this, Senegal has just voted in a leader who is 44 years old. So this is a stage that you can run government. Uganda has a leader of opposition who is in this stage. We have also candidates at national level who are at this stage. So people are running governments, people are running economies, people are having dominion. This is a stage where men have power and they shape how society moves. This is a stage that shapes society. All societies in the world have been shaped by this stage. This is the stage that shapes society. When a man misses this stage and doesn't transition well to this stage, he will be 40, he'll be 45, he'll be 38, and yet he's still in the budding season. And so we'll hear a story of how did Roger navigate through this. Because this is a very important, this is a stage where the man chooses and says, I'm done with employment. I want to employ others. Because men create and cultivate. This is a stage where a man takes on new ventures. This is a stage where he starts companies. This is a stage where he gives other people opportunities to lead. This is a stage where he brings on. This is a stage he says, I want to fight for what matters most. This is the stage. This is an influential stage. This is when the man's word is very important. We teach in Building Great Men that a man is as good as his word. This is a stage where my word means a lot. I can't trade my word for anything, not for fame, not for anything. So the questions in this stage a man needs to ask himself in order to live in this stage well is, what have I achieved as a man? Have I achieved what I wanted? Those are good questions. What have I achieved? Have I achieved what I wanted? Do I have unfulfilled dreams? What are those dreams that I have that are unfulfilled? Have I made mistakes that can be redeemed? What mistakes have I made? Are the relationships I need to connect with? Are there relationships I need to connect with? Are there relationships I need to pursue? What impact do I want to leave behind? Because this is the stage where legacy is built. You remember we said the definition of manhood is one of the attributes is we invest eternally. So this is where the internal compass comes in. These questions are very important for you to answer as a man in this stage. Then lastly, we have the 60 plus, the evening stage. This is a stage where a man is very mature. I have some of them at church, incredible men. This is when men choose to coach others. It's full of wisdom, full of respect. People respect them because of who they are. They have lived it. They have tested the times. They have lived the test of time. They have experience. If they have handled the influential stage very well, by 60s, they're not struggling with money. They have a lot of time on themselves. They have built companies that are now outliving them. They have great accomplishments. They are going for weddings for their sons and their daughters. They are supporting others. They are mentoring. The greatest lie of 60 and above is this, that you can no longer contribute because you're old. So you need to go and retire and die. That's the greatest lie. That's the greatest danger. In fact, this is the age for you to even contribute more because you have more freedom and you have more resources. This is the age to invest in others. This is the age to specialize in young people. The questions you need to ask yourself, how do I want to be remembered? If you're 60 and above, the question you should be answering yourself, how do I want to be remembered? And what do I want to be remembered for? That's very, very important. Now, how do you handle all these transitions? The toughest one I have seen is in the influential stage. We have the budding stage, below 20, the learning, the growing and learning below 27. We have from 28 to 35, where we have the stability stage, but then we have the influential stage, the one that is above 35. That one, you need to handle it very well. That's the stage I'm in. That stage has a lot of pivotal decisions you have to make. How are you transitioning in life? That's the stage where it's the toughest. Will I be employed forever? Which is impossible. Will I start a business? Will I go and mentor people? There are a lot of questions on this stage. And the way you handle that transition will outrightly reflect on your entire life forever. 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 So, 2 weeks from now, we'll be looking at a story of a man who handled that transition very well. Because it's possible for you to transition well as a man. I have transitioned well. It's possible for you to do it. It's possible for you to look after your family and your children and have great influence at this stage. At 40, at 60, at 38, it is possible. So, I want to leave you with this chart. I want you to look at it right now on the screen. Where are you at? What do you need to be doing in which stage so that you can transition well? Some of you may be saying, I'm oscillating. When we're having this class, the men said, I'm oscillating between 1 and 2. Some were saying, I oscillate between 3. It simply means that it's never too late to redeem the time. You can start working on it and stay in the stage that God has designed you to be. Because remember, the greatest resource we have is time. And we're not here to pass time. We're here to build the kingdom of God. We are here to build grand things. So from me to you, I love you. I pray for you as a man. As you take off time to evaluate your life on these 5 stages of a man, I want you to see where you fall and what you need to be doing next. See you 2 weeks from now. God bless you. Bye-bye.